beautiful people. Welcome back to another pick a card that I'm doing. It's me. My name is Courtney, okay? This reading is going to be all on what your higher self wants you to know. But this is going to be framed in a way of self-love. It's going to tell you what you are doing right, and just I want you to remember your higher self is not above you. It is simply the version of yourself that is like not constantly exposed to this world where like they're trying to make us anxious left and right. This is the grounded, evened out, calm version of you that you access sometimes, okay? But yes, this whole pick a card, you can go ahead and skip to piles now, but I am going to yap. Everything is bookmarked. This whole pick a card is going to be on a message to you from your higher self. But before I get into any of that, I always like to give you our magical girl pep talk. And today, that is going to be on hustle culture, okay? Because I pulled some charms around this, and we got the tiger, the $100 bill, the anchor, and the DNA symbol. So to me, this says you've been taking some downtime and maybe not being so nice to yourself over it. I want you to remember, like, hustle culture is like not something to aspire to, okay, Miss Diva? Not if it is wearing you down, tiring you out, taking your life force. You know what is important? Taking small little steps every day towards something you care about so you can create long-term success and stability for yourself. That other stuff, that is just gravy on top, okay? But I care about you. Maybe you did get a little bit caught up in spending all this time with your friends, but I want to tell you, you need to keep that in your life, even if you adjust how much it is. But you are somebody who needed to slow down, needed to take a break, and it's okay to do that, okay? We are casting out hustle culture and turning it into what we can invest in ourselves, that has healthy limits on it for us, okay? Working intentionally and feeding your body intentionally and having fun and letting everything fly when you are with people or doing the things you love most, okay? That's what I wanted to share with you. I am going to show you our reading overview, and for that I have our little Barbie journal. So I wrote in silver pen what your higher self wants you to know, okay? So our first card will forever and always be our overall energy check, just so you don't get overthinking and like, like if a pile is for you, okay? Please don't use my readings to like confirm your anxieties. Look into that overall energy check, and if it's for you, you will know it, okay? It'll sound like exactly where you're at. Then today I have channeled songs from my Shufflemancy playlist on Spotify for every reading. Our third card is going to be something creative to follow. So something creative you're already working on, or a creative idea, or like, I don't know, creativity is such a healthy thing. It's your highest expression. So like, whatever you can do to kind of get there right now, something your higher self will urge. I channel these questions too. So your fourth card is going to be one tiny blind spot or piece of intuition your higher self is trying to get you to follow. Just so it can save you from any pitfalls, even if it's a minor inconvenience in your day. The fifth card is going to be something small you're doing you overlook that's setting you up for success, okay? So this could be like having like a very rigid skincare routine. I don't know. We're going to see what comes up. Something small you're already doing that is going to help you in the long run. We also have and I love you from your higher self. Then we will do your charms and oracles, hugs and kisses, me, okay? But with that, let me get into showing you all of your piles. Remember, everything is bookmarked, so skip ahead. Whatever, if you want to take a minute and take a deep breath, this is nothing to overthink, really. Just pick whatever one feels like a yes. But today we are going to have my My Melody Tarot for the first pile with this tiny rose aura quartz heart. My rose gold Rider-Waite tarot with this big chonky rose aura quartz heart. And then we will have my little pink Spanish tarot deck with the rose coral heart. I want to say thank you so very much for taking out time for yourself and being here with me. This space is for you. This time is for you. All of my decks, my crystals, everything are pink because I want this time to be restorative and imbued with like self-love, big sister energy for you, okay? I love you so very much. Pick whatever one feels like a yes. But perfect diva angel, I am going to get into pile 1. You can pause this video here if you need to slow down. Whatever you need is whatever works, okay? I love you. I'm going to get into pile 1. Hi, diva. Hey, pile 1. If you chose the My Melody Tarot and this tiny rose aura quartz heart, as far as I know, this is going to be your reading. Oh, it's got a cute little chip on it too. I love. But first off, I want to just say thank you for taking out some time for you. All of my supplies here are pink because I really like to imbue my channel with big sister energy. I do all self-love led readings. You are not going to find anything that makes you feel unsettled here, okay? This time is all for you and to chill out. So do whatever that means for you. Pause, light a candle. If you're on your lunch break, take a sip of that soda or like drink you love. Take some time out for you. This is just going to be a time where I read for you, okay? But I am so happy you're here and that you chose such a cute deck. If you hear me chugging water at any point, it's because I'm filming this at night and I've been like so behind, and I also took an allergy pill, so those are the sniffles, but that's okay. So like as per reading overview, this is going to be your like what your higher self wants you to know in the most loving way possible, because I only invite loving energies here. But I do love to begin, I didn't always do this, but it's what I found works really well because it's really good at like crossing out anxieties for me when I watch pick a cards, just so I make sure I'm like not making a problem that doesn't exist. But I always like to pull in a card for an overall energy check. This should talk about where you're at in your life, not necessarily like part of the reading, but it should talk about like where you're at in your life, so that you're sure this is for you, okay? But we are going to sit down, friend, and I am going to shuffle out a card for you for your overall energy check. Let's get to know each other. Hoo-wee! I hope you like my nails. I got them done today. Okay, we have the 10 of Swords. So right now, I don't know. I think somebody has made a big decision. And like, it caused you pain and maybe caused somebody else pain. I think you took a separation for the betterment of yourself with the Page of Swords here. That maybe feels impulsive to you. But I think maybe you made this decision from like a place of like anger or resentment and feeling like you weren't having your needs met, or like a place was too small for you. It's all right to change your mind about that. It's also okay if like your first time setting boundaries isn't graceful. I will say I wasn't going to show this Ooh, Page of Cups in the Hierophant. I feel like you were maybe raised in a sheltered environment or around people who haven't dared to go the same way as you, or maybe you were in a long-term relationship you left. You have rewritten your life a little bit here. You have jumped timelines a little bit because you were like, wait, I wanted this thing once. And, like, I stopped really, really wanting it a while ago because I thought, like, I should do this for this person or I should do this for these people because it's what they expect of me. And you decided more. You decided you wanted more. Maybe people are treating you like a villain for that. And sometimes when we think, I've been here too, where I made a decision, like, that was, like, good for me, but I didn't do it gracefully. I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm just trying to, like, level with you here and, like, tell you I get it. But I, like, all I'm saying is I understand that, like, other people's opinions can live in our heads. Or, like, when we feel like people are attaching a perception of ourselves to us, we start to believe it too sometimes. I really don't want you to do that. I feel like there was some messy ending of some kinds with the Ten of Swords here. And you just feeling like you have, like, a blank slate in your life and you have a lot of room to move. Which is a blessing, but it's not going to feel like it right now. Not when everything still feels so raw. Yeah, this definitely feels like it has to do with a long-term relationship or, like, maybe, like, living, like, somewhere in, like, a city, and then, like, falling out with people you once knew that you were close friends with at one point. The Ten of Swords. I will say the Ten of Swords is kind of just, the Ten of Swords comes, like, after we've made a decision, after we've made a move. And it doesn't put us at a stalemate, but something is finished. Like, something is done. Because, like, with our choice came an action, is what the Ten of Swords always talk to. So, like, with any action comes cause and effect. And that's where, like, the Ten of Swords, like, kind of leaves us at. But you see all the strawberries in these bushes? I feel like you have made a choice, even if it hurt other people, that is going to mean more fruitful and happy connections for you, or more fruitful opportunities, or, like, living in, like, a place that is more your vibe. But I don't think you need to worry about your security. I don't think you need to worry about, like, having a place to stay at night and, like, be warm. I don't think you need to worry about, like, having a job. I don't think you need to worry about any of that stuff. I just think, like, the best thing you can do right now is honor your emotions. I can say, like, hey, I made this decision for me. I did this for me. But this stalemate, I don't know, like, if I'm on, like, people's mouths thing and stuff, really, really makes sense here. Your channeled song, when I shuffled my playlist for this group, was Mean Girls by Charlie XCX, which doesn't mean you're mean. It just means, that song, I love Brat. I have a lot of Leo placements. I love Charlie XCX. It just means this song is very much unapologetic. She's speaking about women who are like her from, like, a certain demographic, and it's like story writing, kind of like people like her who exist out in the world. And it really just is about, like, unapologetic woman. It's a very fun song, and it's kind of just about owning everything that makes you who you are. So owning a villain era, or owning wherever you're at, owning the space you're at, owning the habits you have, owning all of it and being like, yeah, I did that. That's who I am. Yes, I did that. Yes, but Mean Girls by Charlie XCX, I wrote them on little pink hearts. Maybe I'll link that playlist too. But I kind of just asked, like, a message from, like, Pile 1's Higher Self into my playlist and got this one for you. I love Brat. It's, like, all over that playlist. 10 of Swords. Let me look at these again. Certain people are not ready to grow up, and you are. You want more. Maybe these friendships felt like being friends with high schoolers for you instead of people who had really, like, evolved past, like, gossip and drama. For some of you, if this is, like, falling out of touch with a friend group. But you were like, I don't want that anymore. This is catty. Like, you started it. I'm going to finish it. And then I don't want anything to do with you anymore. And you're like, whatever. And you have every right to be whatever. Otherwise, it wouldn't be getting affirmed. You didn't do anything wrong here. Somebody needs to hear they didn't do anything wrong here. Ten of Swords. And that is what I'm getting with those cards. Now for your other tarot cards. Let me get a drink of water. I also had, like, terrible allergies before this started. Might be a sign for somebody to get some water. But your third card is going to be something creative to follow. Now, I think creativity is very special, whether you like to write or draw, or, like, if you go to, like, those, like, paint and, like, sip wine classes, like, every so often. Everybody needs creativity somewhere in their life, even if it's, like, making Pinterest boards or, like, making, like, Spotify playlists, whatever it is. Whatever is a creative outlet for you, because I encourage everybody to have one. It's good for your brain. It's good for your physical body. It's good for you. It raises your self-confidence, all that stuff. But the third card, or second tarot card, is going to be about something creative to follow. And this could be an itch you've had recently, or, like, this could be like a creative medium you have sometimes that you don't always work with. From Pile 1's Higher Self, what creative route should they follow right now? This can be something they regularly participate in, or, like, an inspired idea they've had recently. But my divas of Pile 1 and their higher selves. Empowering, self-loving, beautiful. Two of Wands. For somebody, this is like a I don't know when you're watching this, okay? Because right now the Winter Olympics are going on, but this is timeless. So, like, whether you find this in 2030 or whether you find this when I'm putting it up, and it is the week of March 1st. It is Sunday, March 1st, 2026, as I film this. Two of Wands. This makes me think of somebody who likes to do something active, okay? So I wonder, like, if you go outside and, like, screen print your own clothes, or, like, if somebody is, like, thinking of doing that. This could also be for people who literally enjoy, Two of Wands is, like, a very physical card. Sometimes it's, like, the, Peen-ween, card, you know? Yeah? Okay, sometimes it's like that, so it makes me think physical. It makes me think physical exertion. So, for some people, this is going to be, reason I was bringing up, like, the time of year it is because the Winter Olympics are going on. So some of you might be, like, figure skaters, or be, like, or be, like, synchronized swimmers or something, like, if that is still a thing. And, like, feel like doing that, or just, like, slowing down and watching it. But, like, there's something here where, like, it's nice for you, and you find it relaxing, and, like, you really, like, appreciate, like, the artistry in it. Like, that's a time for it. But there's also a message here where, like, if you like to, like, if you are, like, a creative of any kind, if you like going outside and, like, working with chalk, if you like being outside and, like, using, like, whatever creative medium it is, and, like, it's, like, a perfectly nice day, and you just, like, haven't been making time to go out lately, gently, like, next time you have free time, keep me in your ear and take yourself outside. Take yourself outside. The sunlight is good for you. It's good for your skin. It's good for your mental health, everything. If it's fleeting, you can always bring it inside. But there have been some nice days I know you've maybe passed by, okay? And, like, it can be a hassle, like, to move ourselves from, like, one place to another. But, like, anytime, like, I've gotten myself outside and, like, gotten myself to do something, like, I've known I'd wanted to do, I've never regretted it once I got myself out there. Okay, so, like, the hardest part of, like, anything we're like, oh, like, I don't know if I can, I don't know, like, if I, like, deserve rest right now. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you don't always make time for this, like, if this one particular message is resonating, because you're like, I don't have time for rest, I have so much to do. That is so, like, capitalism. I want to unpack that really quickly for you. You don't have to earn rest. Rest and, like, recuperation is something your body physically needs, okay? Or, like, your body starts to feel heavier, and, like, your bones and your joints start to ache, and all that stuff. It's rest is something you physically and mentally need, especially if you are somebody who carries around so much anxiety all the time. You just be gentle in your body and make time for what you know you enjoy, okay? But as for, like, what else this might be creatively, ooh, paint pouring. There is a common theme here of people maybe, like, starting and stopping projects because they consider it something, like, superfluous that, like, they shouldn't really take time for, and you absolutely can. Also, remember that perfectionism, like, doesn't have to be a thing if you're not working in sweatshops in Pakistan for home goods. Like, you literally just make what you enjoy, and if it's good enough for you, if you're proud of it, it's good enough. Like, it doesn't have to be good. You just have to enjoy making it. You're not working in Pakistan in a sweatshop for home goods, babe. You're making art. And never feel pressured to, like, monetize something. Okay? Somebody, like, needs to hear that, like, a hobby of theirs, they either can actually make something out of monetarily if they want, but there's also something here where like if I'm not convincing you and you're still like, okay, but like that stuff like still takes up my time and everything, blah, 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 blah. Girl, take some time out for you. Please, please, please cut it right now, okay? Knight of Pentacles here is telling me, you all need to start recognizing like your creativity, creative projects, whatever you do that like feeds you like artistically, you need to start putting it like into your self-care practice. It needs to start being, if not a, it doesn't have to be a daily thing. There's so much pressure there. But like you need to value it more than you already do. Just because like creativity is like a need for you. And I feel like this is so deeply fulfilling for you when you feel into it. There really should be a happier medium here, because what you enjoy is not unproductive. It's just what you enjoy, and it's what makes your life worth living. This group does have very like flight or fight energy right now. I don't know like if what happened here with your overall energy check, if that resonated, is taking a toll on you. But I do think one of the ways you can like meet yourself again is by participating in like whatever this healthy artistic thing is. You don't have to like analyze it or like rationalize like making time for yourself. You just have to take time for yourself. Because learning to be unapologetic and learning to be in your villain era means prioritizing what you need and what's working for you too. This chapter of your life is about learning about your needs, and I feel like it started for you pretty unglamorously. But like this is where the work comes in. You can't just make one life decision and like expect it to like even everything out for you. If you are focusing on making a life you want to live and a life you love, you have to work to make the life you love. And that includes, and a huge chunk and factor of it is knowing what you want to put in your body, knowing what you want to spend your free time doing. And like a little bit of self-discipline with like, okay, I'm laying in bed like not feeling so great. I have to get up and do something for me today. I have to get up and do one nice thing for me today. Even if I haven't brushed my hair or brushed my teeth, I have to get up. I have to open up Spotify and turn on a song I know I love. I have to do something for me. But you have to stay on this role you are of picking yourself and doing things that are for you. Otherwise, it's just performative and you might end up in the same situations again. But you deserve more, and you're already on a path of asking for more. You have to continue to ask for more. This isn't a sale at like Cotton On. This is you like making your life better and making your life something you want to live. You know? But like that's all entirely made up of choices, and you know that because you made the choices. Okay. So your fourth card is going to be one tiny blind spot or like piece of intuition to follow that your higher self wants to bring up. And like this won't be anything big. It's just sometimes we're letting things slip through the cracks, or like we're like giving up on ourselves a little bit. And your higher self, the most loving version of you, is here to let you know if you've got any blind spots. Chariot. No, I actually think you're pretty in alignment here with the Chariot. The Chariot is forward movement, also may be significant Cancer or Leo. But with the Chariot here, that is forward movement. You are so cunty right now, girl. Okay? You are perfectly in alignment, but this card is saying stay the course. Okay? Don't turn back. Don't second guess your decisions. Don't let anybody talk you out of them. The Chariot is about inner strength, forward movement, and like courage. But sometimes it's lonely because she's on here on her Chariot by herself, right? But you are perfectly in alignment. You took yourself out of a situation that was tumultuous and stressful for you, even if you knew you were losing something. So that's bravery, first of all. The Ace of Swords to me is about like a blank slate and finally speaking up for yourself. I've been in this energy, and this feels a lot like retiring from being a people pleaser. The Chariot. I think you followed your intuition, like making that decision. I will say, if you feel lonely right now, one thing that's only contributing to it is like using up any mental energy you have to lurk and stalk on like anybody you've separated with. And like you can wean off of that at any time. But I do want to tell you, you're never going to find anything you want to see, because we hate to see the people who hurt us moving on, right? But that's what happens when somebody's active on social media. So if you are like upsetting yourself or like keeping yourself in any stress, I hope just out of kindness, respect, and care for yourself, you can try to wean off of it and do it a little bit less. Even if that means like putting like a timer on Instagram on your phone, or putting a timer on TikTok, whatever. But it seems to me you're in alignment. You just have to continue to choose yourself. And I know that sounds a lot harder than it is when we're not there yet, but it really is just one day at a time, one choice at a time when it comes up. Is this something I need? Even if it's something I don't feel like doing. Yes. Taking that one. Is this person somebody who deserves access to my energy anymore? No. It unsettles me. No. I am turning away. Yesterday was a lot of sweets for me. Should I have fruit today instead of like 4 packs of Oreos? Yes. So it's all about understanding your needs and where you're at, and eventually that gets easier, and I think you're learning to do it. But your higher self is telling you to stick with it, okay? You are exactly where you're meant to be. You are creating new neural pathways in your brain, and all that means is new habits, okay? All that means is like healthier choices. But to get into a flow state of making them we have to we have to learn self-discipline first, and that's just asking ourselves, hey, is checking this person's page 5 times today beneficial and helpful for me in my healing? No. Okay, so like, it's okay, I did it a couple times today, but I'm reeling it back. And over time, without guilting yourself, because over here I'm about self-love, okay? We do not grow from self-flagellation and guilting ourselves. We grow from showing curiosity to what we're going through, saying, hey, I see you, looking at it closely and trying to understand why it's there so we can have empathy for ourselves. And when you have empathy for yourself, there's room for change because your voice to yourself is kind, okay? So whether you've struggled with any of that or none of that at all, raise a gentle and curious eye to anything that comes up for you that you are working through and would like to change, okay? Gentle, empathetic, curious, and self-disciplined, okay? Because I really feel like you are in a stage of like becoming in your life, especially with Mean Girls here. If you go and listen to that song, it very much is like an anthem, and it's about like self-empowerment and everything. But yes, the Chariot is basically telling me you're in alignment. You just have to continue to make these choices that are so great for you and move ahead. Tread onward. Do your thing. But next we're going to do something small you're doing you overlook that's setting you up for success. And this doesn't have to be monetary success. This can be anything, okay? I'm leaving it open. But from Pile 1's higher self, what is something Pile 1 is doing that's small that is setting them up for success? Pile 1's higher self. What is something Pile 1 is doing that's small that is setting them up for success? You know, even like a healthy habit you've had all of your life or could be creating now that is going to make your life easier down the line, that is going to bring you success. Anything. I'll take this one. It's sticking out. Somebody is a planner, okay? And I feel like with the Hanged Man here, it's like ritualistic for you. It here with the Ace of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. This is for my bullet journalers. This is for my planner girlies. This is for my spreadsheet Microsoft Excel girlies. There's something here just about, so this is for my iOS calendar girlies who keep all of their friends and like coworkers' birthdays in a calendar. You run the group chats and things like that. You rely on some sort of system in your day-to-day life just to keep you organized. Just to keep you in a flow state, just to remind you that, like, you have it together. To-do lists, even. But there's something here for my Pile 1s. Just about you plan ahead. You're a planner. And you do it to like keep your anxiety at bay. Maybe it's something you even learn to do after, for some of you, only for some of you, but some of you got a neurospicy diagnosis and somebody tipped you off about maybe making lists or keeping calendars or planners or something, this is going to benefit you all your life, and you might be like, this is stupid, this is small, I'm keeping track of birthdays, I'm keeping track of like my grocery list, all this stuff. But listen, when you make a list to remind yourself of something, you are already giving an act of kindness to yourself, because you are going to leave room for your nervous system to be calm later if you have already written down plans ahead and thought out. Okay, I'm going to write down, this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do, so I don't have to remember it on the fly later. There's already consideration for yourself here and making sure that your life goes smoothly, okay? There's already consideration for yourself there. There's already honoring yourself there. And you might make a joke and say, I do it because I'm anxious. But listen, you are offering yourself grace and kindness and giving yourself a weapon you can use day to day because of that anxiety. If it reduces your anxiety, it's something really cool that you're doing for yourself, and it's something to hang on to. And with the Hanged Man here, I think you've maybe been like this a long time. Like making lists, keeping calendars, doing all this stuff. Maybe it's private for you too. Maybe you don't have it out for everybody. Like I said, maybe it's on your phone or like in your notes app. I know that like even I'm a notes app girly. I like when I'm like setting up like my reading overviews, I write out the questions. Or like in my notes app, I like write up like the video description and stuff. I just don't think you realize that like it's such a kind thing for yourself to do for you. The world is such an overwhelming place to exist in, okay? It's not like it was 5,000 years ago, okay? Where everything was community-based living and like everybody had a role and like so many families lived together in one place and fed each other and cooked for each other and did all this stuff. It's not as easy as it was years and years and years ago because of capitalism. And I like, that's when all this stuff became like a real necessity. And when we had such big amounts of anxiety just from existing, like with like the way things are, and like I don't do it all the time, but like in times of like high anxiety, this is what I do. I keep lists. You already have it together more than a lot of people, okay? Not to mention, you got like 2 major arcana here. I think you live your life like as far as like your output and like your inner world, you are very intentional with. You're very like, okay, like I know what I have to do. I know what needs I have to meet for myself. I know what has to be going on. And listen, diva, if you're down right now, if a diva is down right now because of whatever is going on, a diva is down right now. But I'm saying, like, your day-to-day, I think you are very intentional. I think you get what you need to get done. And this is, like, Sagittarius energy to me. This is Virgo energy to me. This is Leo energy to me. But yes, the Hanged Man is just like consistency, thinking ahead, planning, Microsoft Excel, like that shit. You're gonna be okay, baby girl. You are. You already have it together. Diva's down for a little bit. It's temporary. It's very, very temporary. Bad bitches get their hearts broken too. Okay? Happens to the best of us. Look at you. You're moving forward. I definitely think you broke a cycle of some kind. There's been like an up-leveling. There's been a growing up. You were like, I want more. Like, this is not doing it for me. I gotta go. We gotta go. But, like, you're in your main character villain era. But it's like, it's both of them. Do whatever you want. If you like Taylor Swift's music at all, I'll tell you, you're in your Reputation era. That don't mean you're gonna meet a Joe Alwyn. I need to tell you guys, like, it's not the time for that. It's you time. But you're still cooking. You're still cooking. I also, this last card is going to be I love you and some emotional support and some like real direct channeling from your higher self. And I love you from your higher self. Pile 1's higher self, express your love. Express your love for Pile 1 to inspire them to love on themselves. I just heard self-preservation. You've already won. Oh, I'm almost hearing like silver glows brighter in the dark. So like I am seeing a big full moon and all this like silver like muck, but it's like really pretty because it's silver and it looks like chrome. And it's just all over these rocks in like this beautiful like valley. Okay? So like you may be writing this as like only a lonely time for yourself right now. But you were squeezing yourself to like fit in a box. You don't need to do that. You need to be focusing on what it is you enjoy doing and on your movement forward and what goals you have now that you have freedom, room, and choice to follow any of it. Because like this is painful, but like this is a blessing. And it's not something to make you bitter or hurt you. It's to clear the way. I really need to clear my sinuses, but like this is to clear the way. Like the way was cleared for you with the Sun card. The way was cleared. Six of Swords, the Devil, Temperance, Aftershocks. But remember, missing something doesn't mean you have to return to it. Not if it would undermine your decision or make you feel like you're doing something wrong, because you're not. Better is coming, and you were accepting like lower grade stuff than you deserve, than you want, than you know you want, and less than you know you deserve. See how she's like stepping away from these flowers here, taking space? You need time to process anyway. It's not the time to start anything huge. It's not the time to exert yourself. It's not the time for conversations with like whoever you've separated with. It's time to process for you. It's time to take a little bit of a break from this and process. Simmer down and like cool down. Because turmoil is going to be like more stressful for you right now than just being on your own and like feeling through your feelings. I don't want you stressed right now. My diva doesn't deserve to be stressed. You just need to do what it is you enjoy. Take yourself out on a date. Post on social media if it makes you feel hot. Post on TikTok if it makes you feel hot. Yap, run your mouth a little bit. Oh my God. Burp. Confirmation. My sniffles are like so bad. But yes, that's what I feel. Your higher self does love you. But your higher self cares about you, not these 5 other people that were keeping you in a box. Not these 5 other people that you were shrinking yourself for. And I want to tell you, don't let there be any what ifs. Oh, if I had just communicated that, like, I've been wanting this longer, maybe it wouldn't have been so messy. Blah, 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 blah. Girl, people are going to react how they're going to react. And, like, also, you live and you learn. But, like, if setting boundaries or, like, leaving your comfort zone is something you had never done before, that's a lesson you had to learn, too. So, like, give yourself that grace. Give yourself that warmth. It's the only way to grow love for yourself and really, really, really make meaningful change, like, in your life. With when it's loving. Because think about it this way. When you have kids, your whole thing before they go to college or like before they're out of school, before they are fully fledged adult human beings, your whole entire job is to nurture them and teach them right and wrong and love them and nurture them and make sure that they grow right, make sure that they're healthy, all that stuff. That is your sole job. You wouldn't walk up to a kid on the street and be like, hey, go get a job. No, never. You would never do that. That is not how you talk to a tiny human. So you shouldn't be talking to yourself so mean if you're trying to teach yourself new things. You shouldn't. Pile 1, you're a diva, and you should go listen to this song and unapologetically vibe with yourself because your higher self is in your corner, and so am I. Oh. I crocheted this whole little, like, moon tarot cloth on my own, and I'm trying to, like, tuck this into the stitches. It's pretty. It's like bamboo yarn. But I also am going to get you some oracle cards, okay? Since you're so perfect. But first, I like to do charms, okay? And I don't know, maybe some of you like air dry clay or want to play with it. This is a beautiful air dry clay little dish my best friend made for me for Christmas. And I know there's a lot of readers on here. If you have never heard of charm casting, I keep all these silver little charms, and like they're of like pictures. Like I have one of like Tinkerbell like carrying like a ball of like fairy dust. I have like a masquerade mask in there. I pull them all out together. It's really cool. Sometimes they land and they're like connected. Sometimes they land on top of each other. Sometimes they land. Sometimes I drop them and they fall on the mat by accident. But whatever it is, based off of the meanings I interpret, like attached to them and stuff, they give us like an extra little message, and you get a little bit of ASMR, okay? But I'm gonna do some of that for you. Kind of feels like I'm like plucking out names for the Hunger Games when I do it. Ooh, allergies. Ooh, allergies. Somebody definitely needs a social media break. Or like if you are one of those people who really related to like your creativity message, particularly the like component of it about, this is a general message, so not everything is for everybody, but if you really resonated with the part about enjoying doing whatever you do creatively, it is outside, whether it be dancing, whatever, the sun charm literally came out. And you heard me, I like mixed them up good, but like the sun charm literally came out, like face up, like go outside dog. Then we have our music notes. If somebody also needs to hear, if somebody you know is being indirect and like sharing like Instagram songs like on like the Instagram messages thing instead of like talking to you and like being direct with you, please ignore it. Please ignore it. There's also a message here for people, just like if music is something you enjoy and you've gotten really comfortable like being sad or like being upset, turn on the music you enjoy. I feel like it really lifts your spirits with the faith charm there. Less phone time and more of everything else. Even if the everything else is like work. But like try to like cut back on your phone time very gently if possible. Okay? If possible. That's a hard thing to do, but you know, if you can. Spend more time doing spend time doing things you know will make you feel good. Because sometimes you go on your phone and you're like, okay, I'm bored, I'm gonna go on TikTok. You see something that upsets you. If you have any things in your life, whether it be painting your nails or like doing a face mask and like watching like an episode of a show, whatever it is, focus more on things you know make you feel good, instead of doing things impulsively that are like a go-to for you, but like could upset you, you know? So like going on TikTok and seeing like how like terrible the world is right now. I do hope this is like a little reprieve for you and you feel loved and nurtured, but sometimes the internet is like upsetting. So I just feel like wherever you can, focus more on things you know are going to make you happy right now. I recommend a lot more than just bed rotting or couch rotting with your phone. When and if possible, okay? But try. But yes, you got the cell phone chart. If any of these have like particular resonance to you, you can pay attention to that. But You got the little sun here. You got the little flip phone. The music sheet notes, and the faith charm. I definitely think music can lift somebody's spirits right now, and you've been on like such an emotional high or like so dissociated, you haven't let yourself do it. If you have like a waterproof speaker, because I do, just have a little dance party in your shower. Don't slip and fall and crack your head open. Have a little dance party in your shower. That's not like being at the club, you know? But that is what I'm getting for you. I'm so sorry. I've been sniffling this entire reading. I am as annoyed as you are. You probably don't care. But it's bothering me. So, okay. But you know what? I'm wrapping up. Unless you were drawn to more than one pile, because then I don't know what to tell you. But here are my beautiful Gorgina Fairy Oracle cards, okay? They're very nice. They're very feminine. Like I said, I love all decks that have pink in them here. Because pink is love. Pink is self-love and setting up a space that is for you, designated for you. Time that is designated for you, because I love you, pile one, and you deserve it. In a world that is so fast-paced, you deserve a little pink sanctuary. I will take this one for you. Treat yourself like the thing you love most. Yes. So just making more time for the things you enjoy, I think, and making more time for things you know will make you feel good. For sure. You know? And then I think I'll get you one more. "444" is on the iPad lock screen on this card. 444 is a special one for anybody. And then we also have gratitude for the gifts you have. If the way you talk about yourself has changed for the worse, or just temporarily. Ooh, and maybe you love the colors pink and purple if they're both showing up here. I feel like somebody really enjoys dressing up. Yes, this is a specific message. I feel like somebody really, really enjoys dressing up, waking up and putting on clothes in the morning. You have a really distinct style and you love how you dress. If you haven't been upkeeping it just because your life has been busy, you know, if you moved or something, even if you are not going on a date, even if you are not going to see somebody, even if you take yourself out on a dinner date, and this is very brat energy, wear an outfit you love that you know you get compliments on every time you wear it. Lizzie McGuire, you are an outfit repeater. I don't care. I do the same thing. If I know I look good in it and I need a little bit of validation, I wear that outfit out. And that is what you need to do. That is what you need to do, pile one. Okay? You need to remember how hot you are, so you can get from here to here. Okay? You need to remember how bad you are. I love you. Come on, Diva. Get up. Get up, Diva. I love you. Come on. Okay? I love that for you. I love that for you. It's really just like you're walking around, your knees bent, you're hunched over, you're all like, I chose myself. I chose myself. Straighten up your back. Stand up, okay? Unlock your jaw and be like, I chose myself. I chose myself. Be, okay? You chose yourself, and that is a good thing. Loss sucks. choice, okay? You choosing yourself and having autonomy and not like living in like a teeny weeny kid-sized box anymore. Slade. Slade! You are going to live the life you want, okay? Even if you're feeling a little right now. You are okay. You are okay. Mentally, I love you so much. Mentally, you might feel like you're in that spot in SpongeBob where like, he gets on the bus and they leave him down by the bus stop all night and like the scary fish are there and like, and like he tries to get something out of the vending machine and he can't. I think he like ran away from home or like ran away from the Krusty Krab and like took like the bus like off of like the sand dune in the water. And he's like shitting bricks. He's like, oh my God, it's so dark out. I don't know where I am. And then like he put like a glowfish's like light on his head or something and he got home. You just need to stick your light on your head, okay? I wonder if anybody is gonna watch this down the line and be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, because like I do. But like I couldn't tell you like the season or the episode. I remember that one very intensely. But I don't know, kind of feels like where you're at. You just need to put your light on. But last but never least, I have my little practical self-care cards. And this is something I do for you, but it's also a way to keep you accountable. Because these cards are fun. And I know that like with my readings, it's all very self-love based. So it's meant to be gentle and feel supportive of you. But I know like sometimes like awareness is heavy. And sometimes like awareness is like, whoa, like taps us like back in with our emotions. These are lighthearted and sweet. They have things like take a walk, journal, rest, alone time. I don't know why some of them are reversed. I don't really know what's going on there. I flipped them up, right? But these are just supposed to be fun. Little things you can do for yourself. I will say sometimes I pull these for friends and they're things they had already been saying they needed to make time for. So whatever this is, kind of think of it as homework if you have the energy and the time come up for it. But they have never led me wrong and they are very kind and they're cute. I like the colors on them. So pile 1, to close out your reading, we are going to pull 2 of these for you, okay? Let me shuffle them good. I really do hope you like my nails. I think it matches like the heart note. I tried to pick the most Barbie core. I was like annoyed tonight because I went out for dinner with family and they looked like purpley, but to me they're pink. They're kind of like Pepto-Bismol pink. Ooh, burp. I love them. They're kind of like Pepto-Bismol pink. Okay, pile 1. So deep breathing. I know this sounds boring, but it can really be just like watching a movie, having some wine, if you like that. And just like really being one with your body and like making sure like you're taking breaths and everything. But I will say it does lower cortisol. So if you are going through like big amounts of anxiety, like deep breathing, like the 4-7-8 thing, for example, it lowers cortisol in your body. Cortisol is like stress hormone, so it cancels out your anxiety. And listen, it's okay to have anxiety, queen. I had a coughing fit yesterday and I couldn't stop. And my mom was like, take a drink, because I was in this coughing fit and I was making myself more anxious because I was worried about myself, so I couldn't stop. And like I had to take a drink to like wake myself back up, and then I was like, wait, like I need to like calm down my breathing. It lowers your cortisol. We work ourselves up so much. Okay, so like get a drinky drink, turn on a movie you like or like an episode of a show you like, and just focus on your breath, okay? You don't have to meditate or anything. Just focus on taking in like real air and like actually breathing. And then chanting. So I don't know if some of you are shower singers. I don't know like what it is you like to do. Some of you could be affirmation girlies if you feel like doing that. I will say sometimes if I even want things to go my way, I believe in verbal spells. So like, I also believe it's more powerful with like another person like saying it with you. Here, we'll practice so you can do it for yourself. Something I do when I want something to go my way is I close my eyes, and whoever I'm with, whether it be my mom or myself or a friend, I close my eyes, we count to 3, and you have to say it like you mean it and believe it when you say it, okay? But if you hum it, hey, like your name, everything is coming up X, I will say it with you, okay? But we're going to put our hands together like this, you and me right now. Close your eyes just for a second, trust me. And on the count of 3, we're just practicing so you can do it for you. But when you want anything for yourself, I like to manifest out loud like this, verbal spells. So on the count of 3, I hope your eyes are closed. I hope your hands are together. We are going to say everything is coming up, Courtney. You and me, wherever you are, okay? If you're alone, don't feel stupid. Just do it. 1, 2, 3. Everything's coming up, Courtney. Yeah? But that's literally what chanting can be. And I find it helps me manifest like a desired outcome because it puts me in a better mood. Okay? I believe in verbal spells, and I believe you can do it too. It can very clearly also be about like affirmations. I know like when I've been in like high periods of anxiety, I had a really great therapist that I just grew away from. Just like I met her when I was a teenager. I did not vibe with her anymore. And at one point, my OCD was being really cruel to me. And I actually got sticky notes that were heart-shaped, not these exact ones, wrote affirmations on them and hung them up on my bathroom mirror, on the walls in here, in my room, everywhere. It can be however you want it to look for you. I really just think the kindest thing you can do for yourself is anything that will calm your nervous system right now. Music, dance parties in the shower, getting off that phone, being in the sun, all of that. But I want to tell you, you are okay. You're moving forward. You slay. And like things are only going to speed up from here when you feel centered and you can figure out exactly what you want. But right now, have loyalty to yourself, your needs, and taking care of you, okay? Again, your song was Mean Girls by Charlie XCX. My name is Courtney. I hope you can feel how much I love you. Everything is coming up, whatever your name is. I love you so very much, Pile 1. You are Gorgina, you are perfect, you slay, and subscribe to me if you would like to see me again. My name is Courtney. This will always be a safe place to land for you, and I will always share my little Barbie core psychic corner of the internet with you. I love you so very much, Pile 1. Thank you. Have a beautiful day or night. I love you. Hi there, Pile 2. My allergies have cleared up and I feel so much better. If you felt called to the rose gold tarot deck and the chunky pink rose aura quartz heart. This reading is going to be for you, okay? This is going to be on what your higher self wants you to know, what to know from your higher self, okay? But as you can see, everything here is pink, okay? This is a space for self-love for you. Any time spent watching any content of mine, I hope you can treat as self-care, part of your self-care routine, okay? All of these will be self-love, self-care oriented. You will never have to overthink, and I will always be here to honor your experiences, okay? Slow down, get some water, get a snacky, whatever feels good for you. Chill, and we are going to get into things. As always, I always do love to start every reading with an overall energy check, okay? Which like is part of the reading, but not really. I'm going to pick a card on what, I don't know. It should pick up on like a big theme, something big happening in your life right now, so that you can figure out if this is for you or not. And after that, we will get into the bulk of the reading itself, okay? But this will be pretty unrelated. I am so happy to have you here with me. This piece is like the second crystal I ever got, and it has such a beautiful flash all these years later. But I am just going to put it right over there so it fits right in. Okay? And your first card, of course, is going to be your overall energy check. Let me shuffle this good for you. I love you, Diva. Let's get to know each other, okay? I'll give it one more and I will pull. Okay, the strength card. So sometimes strength is us being forced to slow down. I actually think you're wanting to slow down. But I do think that maybe you are working on stomping out and like not rushing your success anymore. I think you are somebody who feels like you have something to prove, and maybe it's something you carry all the time. So I want to honor it for you and tell you, if you feel like you have to prove yourself, that's all right, okay? That's all right if that's where you're at. But I do want to say I am proud of you, because I think slowly but surely you are changing and evolving, because you are realizing that like just because you have something to prove doesn't mean you have to do something that is inauthentic for you here with the 8 of Wands on the bottom and the 5 of Swords. You are done doing things that feel superfluous, that feel like you need to do them, but aren't totally aligned with you. What are analogies I have for this? It's like wanting to be in a sport, but I have a very vivid memory of wanting to be an all-star cheer. And I was born neurospicy. I developed differently. I had like skinnier like legs and arms. They're not as muscly. And I couldn't really tumble or like bend over backwards and stuff. So I remember I was like 8, and they put me in a group at this local gym with like 3 4-year-olds that were learning to do like very, very basic skills and stuff. And it was really, really frustrating for me. And then I realized I didn't want to do it if like, I wanted to like prove myself and do my thing, but I didn't want to do it like if I was too scared to even do that stuff. Or this could also be like, I don't know, being independent in some way and trying to follow a mold of people who have been successful before you, but you realizing, hey, like, I really don't want to do it that way. This really is not a productive thing for me. I'm not getting enough sleep. You are learning to work to achieve what it is you want to make happen in your life, but not at the cost of yourself, not at the cost of your sleep. But I think because you are building a healthier relationship with your output in life, you are doing things that have more of your energetic signature on them, that make more sense for you. And it was a deliberate choice. You have decided you needed rest from something. You have recuperated and have found a way to achieve your ends, your means, in a way that works for you. Okay? That is so beautiful. If you are resonating with that, this reading is most likely for you. What else am I getting from the Strength card? I think this came from necessity with the Strength card too. Maybe you were going through burnout, trying to achieve something in a way that works for most people, but felt really oversaturated and like running up a hill for you. With this infinity sign. This was born out of necessity and out of you wanting to protect whatever dream you have, whether it be of finding a relationship or of your dream career, whatever it is, whatever dream you have, whatever you want to achieve, you have cooked up a secret sauce for. Things are going to go the way you want them to. Because when you create something that's aligned with your needs and you made with intention for yourself, you are able to keep yourself accountable better because it's something that's built for you. It's not something you're draining yourself over. Does that make sense? I feel like before, think of somebody who's on their first week of going to the gym, and setting the weight levels on the machine to 100 pounds when you've never even lifted a 5. You can only do 1 rep because you haven't adapted. You haven't made something work for you. But on the other hand, if you go and you're lifting 15 and 20 in the same week, within 2 months, maybe you can be doing 100. You know what I mean? And because you slowed down, because you found something, a way of achieving your goals that is more aligned with you, they're coming. But I think right now you are in a fragile space of growing more of a healthy relationship between you and your goals and that need to prove yourself. Okay? I do want to say something cool I did, if that resonated, is I have a Shuffle Nancy playlist on my Spotify. And it's all songs I like to use for channeling. But I took these little heart-shaped notes and shuffled a song for each one with what does pile 1's higher self want to praise and connect with them for, and then with the second one, what does pile 2's higher self want to praise them and connect with them for. You got Chasing Cars by Snow Patrol. If I lay here, if I just lay here, the Grey's Anatomy song. Would you lie with me and just forget the world? That song. Chasing Cars. For me, that's about slowing down and remembering your goals, but I also think you are opening yourself up to more experience and more things that are self-led. Okay? And maybe it's pushing you out of your comfort zone a little bit, having to do things that are self-led and unstructured and like not something everybody has tried. Like if things are going unconventional for you, it's healthy to be like, hey, am I sure I can do this? Am I sure I can pull off writing this? Am I sure I can pull off doing this every week? Am I sure I can do this? Am I sure I can put myself out there like this? You can, but like you are going to feel challenged right now, but a little bit of challenge is healthy. Because to me it tells me that you are humble and you are trying, and nobody is ever confident on the first go. Not behind closed doors. Nobody is ever confident on the first go, especially you, because you feel this need to prove yourself. But I do feel like that is being strict and leading you in a way, because you're like, okay, I have this dream. This way didn't work for me, but this way will, so I'm gonna do it. But it can feel unnatural to not follow a system we see so many other people using. But listen, you're already 5 steps ahead if you decided the system wasn't working for you. Some people fall into inconsistencies. They give up on the dating apps. They give up on like a public career. They give up on whatever. Because they think they have to follow that one systematic way of doing things in order to get from point A to point B. You're already ahead of that. You're already smarter than that. You already know, hey, I want this bad enough. I'm going to figure out any way to do it, and I'm not quitting, and I'm not going anywhere. Chasing cars is about honoring yourself, slowing down, offering gratitude to yourself, and I feel like that's what this reading is going to be about. I do want to say, I think you've come farther than you realize, with this garland on her head and everything. It's taken her patience and time to put it together. I don't think this is a new thing you're trying to manifest into your life. I think you've been working at it and chipping away at it for a while. And I do think you've seen it bear fruit, and there's more to come. I just feel like you want more evidence of it. I might need to sneeze. Where is it? Oh my god. Okay. I'm sorry, I have like terrible allergies. If you want to make fun of me, go to the first pile and listen to me sniffle. But I will take it as confirmation. Sure, whatever. Feels a little delulu, but whatever. I will say, Leo might be resonant with Leo placements, might be significant here. But with chasing cars, just tenderness and like enjoying the ride, I think a little bit is like exactly what you're learning to do. You're learning to enjoy the ride. Whatever way you can, because I think you're learning like what you want is going to be a journey. You know, you might meet somebody you want to spend your whole life with. But that'll be up to you to decide if that is a healthy, kind person. That'll be up to you to like see like what they're like with you and like out in public and behind closed doors. There is possibility here, and I think you're realizing that with possibility, nothing has to be rushed, okay? And it's okay to expect results when you work really, really hard on something. And I do think you get results for whatever it is you're trying to manifest and bring into your life. I already think you get results. But I think you are kind of surrendering to the process of, oh, like this is going to happen and grow and cultivate over time. You're kind of going into a flow state where like you know you'll have this eventually in the form you want it. But you're like, okay, it's already mine. I just need to find it and make sure it's a healthy, viable option for me, whether this be on relationships or having to do with your job, wherever you're at. But you may connect with this song right now, Chasing Cars, Snow Patrol. It's something your higher self wanted me to pass on to you. Oh, come on. Okay. I am going to take a little drinky drink, but your next card is going to be something creative to follow. So, like, I feel like everybody needs a creative passion, whether you like making Pinterest boards or like putting together outfits, or like making like baking content on TikTok, whatever's going on, even if it's just for you and like 5 other people. But I do think everybody should have some sort of creative outlet in their life. It's good for your brain. It keeps it young. It's good for you because it's a way to self-express. It's a way to self-express because we live in like such like a fast-paced world. You need some sort of sanctuary for yourself. It's only healthy. Whether you crochet or do art, or like if there is a creative inspired idea you've gotten recently to write something, or like to make like a funny like short film with your friends. I'm going to pull a card on that and we're going to go into that. But first I'm going to take a drinky drink. Okay. But your higher self, pile 2's higher self, what creative pursuit, what creative hobby, what creative inspired idea do you want them to follow right now, cultivate, and nurture? Ooh, I'll take this one. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. You got 2 major arcana. So I feel like maybe this is just an influx of like creative ideas right now. Okay, 10 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, the Sun, and 10 of Cups. You exist in a community where you really want to share something. And not from like I'm better than everybody else, or like I need like the validation, but I really think like you care about some sort of community that you exist in. Okay? You care about some sort of community that you exist in. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, when the Wheel of Fortune comes to ideas, I think of like opinions. And also like systems and like brand new opinions. So like if you are somebody who makes like those like really, really cool paintings, or like graphic designs on Tumblr with like political statements, like about like how you're feeling, or like if you write zines, whatever it is, or like if you bake and like bring your stuff to like women's shelters and like share it, or like to Planned Parenthood, whatever it is you do, I feel like somehow you have a draw to use your creativity for good. Okay? At a time we're in, whether it is criticizing something within the industry you work in, because you wish it was healthier and better, or like making really cool paintings with like statements on them, or like being one of those really cool people who like crochets like a pride around like a street lamp body, like in like a city, or like anything like that. But you have an idea you're sitting on that could actually cause little ripples of change in whatever community you exist in, whatever you're doing it for, you need to follow through on it, okay? Because this is a lot of people have a differing opinion. Not everybody is brave enough to share it. And when you are somebody born into the world with natural audacity, the best thing you can do with it is speak up for other people and create and like even just like suggest change in a system you don't like. Okay? But the strength card already tells me you are strong people, pile 2. My pile 2 divas are strong. They are cut from steel. Okay? I love you so, so, so very much. I also think maybe with like slowing down, you've finally been able to like center yourself and really like come into more creativity. It's also okay if this isn't something you rush. It's okay if you get it done in 2 days, but it's okay not to rush it. I also think if this is a self-love reading, I want to tell you that whatever you're doing, however you speak, however you write, however messy your stitches are, if you are crocheting a thing to put up in your city, even if they're not perfect, whatever you do is enough, okay? It's the idea and the sentiment that's attached to it that really, really matters, that really resonates with people in their bones, okay? You don't have to be an art major. You don't have to be an English major. You don't have to have a major in creative writing. You don't have to have anything. You just have to be good enough. Your opinions and what you're saying is delivered and gets across. And like that's enough. Like you can literally leave it at that, diva. I do think this was given to you, this idea with this angel sitting holding the book and all of these figures like holding books and lessons. This is a chance to maybe even like rebalance some karma, and I don't know, we can do that so easily by like doing something that's beneficial for more people than just us. We can create good karma for ourselves just by, I don't know. As a tarot reader, I watch Aphrodite really often. He is really, really cool. He is a pop culture psychic, and I will compliment him to the ends of the earth. I manifest, baby. But I hope I talk to him someday. Personally, I would love to. Just so I can tell him how inspiring and cool I think he is. But he did speak about how one day the way we're going to be able to lift the vibration of the earth is by caring about one another and community. So, like planting trees together and dancing in gazebos together and hanging out. Anything you do, anything that you have an opinion on that's annoying you, I promise is bothering other people too. So please, for the sake of the world and creating community and honoring people's feelings who like probably want to speak up on this and just don't feel like challenging a system because it takes energy. Make ripples for a community of people. That creates community, that fosters love, that lifts up the vibration of the world, that puts good energy into the world, okay? And remember, you can criticize a system without criticizing everybody who's part of it. You can criticize something you don't like without being mean, okay? Because a lot of times when something's not, listen, insecure people are gonna get like brushed up and annoyed no matter what. But a lot of people will say, wait, I do that, and check themselves. All you have to do is take something you care about and share it with the world. Okay, Miss Diva? Look at you, zoning in on your purpose and figuring things out. Maybe that's where you're at in your life. You feel like you're finding purpose. Do I need to sneeze again? I don't know. Well, your fourth card is going to be one tiny blind spot, or something that you should follow your intuition on, that your higher self is catching for you, okay? Something it's going to tell you about now. And like, this could be as simple as like you not keeping your house clean enough and getting a little message about it. But this is going to be one tiny blind spot, or something to follow your intuition on from your higher self. I want you to remember, your higher self is not above you. It is the version of you that like doesn't have to live in such a fast-paced world. It's who you are when you are your kindest. It's who you are when you feel most relaxed. It's who you are when you are in flow state. That is your higher self. So you can always access them. It's just, we live in a world with so much stimuli and like things like put there to upset us. It can be hard to tap into it, but it's always with you. And it's not above you. Your higher self is you, okay? But just some awareness you might be holding back. So, pile two's sweet, sweet higher selves, please share with me any sort of blind spot or thing pile two has it been following their intuition on. You would just gently advise them to. Something self-lovey, something empowering for my beautiful pile two divas. Queen of Pentacles. So this can talk about watching your spending. But let me see. Just because I think you have bigger goals. Okay. Four of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Six of Cups. You're being asked to look at your relationship with money, but in a way that's... I just heard somebody who's watching this laugh. I don't know. This reading is timeless. So, like, you might find it in 2030. You might find it a week after I post it. If it's resonating, it's for you whenever you find it. But I swear I heard somebody laugh who's watching this later on, just because you're like, yeah, babe, I know. But here, I feel like maybe you just have this idea that you are never enough. And, like, when you see something, maybe, I don't know, look at how your insecurities and how maybe low self-worth or you feeling like you're not enough could sometimes turn into you spending money, okay? Because it's nothing to guilt yourself for, but I do think it has something to do with your self-worth. And it's something to heal. It's something gentle, okay? The way you, because I feel like it is something that needs more tenderness than like, okay, like I'll just get like money envelopes, because like that's not what it is. I feel like this runs a little bit deeper. This is something to reparent and be gentle with yourself on here with the Magician, because this is something that runs further than just you liking pretty things. I will say, I do think we live in a time where everybody feels like they have to have an aesthetic. And look, I have an aesthetic. But sometimes, this can talk about overconsumption, where like left and right, there are people who get paid to go into Target, like get paid a commission. People who get paid to go into Target get paid every time somebody asks them to send them a link and all that stuff that just are contributing to consumerism. And like labeling it with like, oh, like all the coquette girlies need this, everybody needs this. It's all capitalism. And like that doesn't mean like it's not something to be enjoyed. I love my clothes. I love my juicy bags from TJ Maxx. But I want to tell you, just because you see something like that, just because you see something you love being pictured, doesn't mean you have to have something to be worthy of it or to carry values that have to do with an aesthetic you love or anything. I know this happened to me. If anybody grew up in a really, really superficial place, surrounded by bullies who were really, really superficial and cared more about what you wore and like what your body looked like than like what you had to say. I want you to know that like your inside is so beautiful, how you treat people, your tenderness, because the Queen of Pentacles, if we are picking up on your personality here at all, you are generous. You make friends feel at home. Okay, you are somebody who makes sure people know they can talk freely around you. You are somebody who is generous and holds space for others. And I also think you know how to self-soothe. You know how to self-soothe without shopping. But somebody needs to hear you are not your possessions, and the possessions are nice, okay? Money is not just for necessity. Money can also give you comfort and let you have things you like and think are really nice every so often. But I do think maybe you've been wanting to save money since the Queen of Pentacles came out upright like this, like with such positive cards. And I think it's just a time to, of course, try and slow down, but dissect your relationship with this a little bit. And you know how this can start? It can just start with noticing what feelings you have when you feel like you need to buy something. Check in. Don't tell anybody who is going to be snarky and knock you for trying to build money skills if you struggled with it in the past. Sit with yourself and be like, what was I just feeling? Where like now I feel like I need to like buy this thing. What was I feeling that made me feel like I need to like buy this thing? This is what I told the first group, because they're going through something too. They're going through change and trying to like reevaluate their decisions. Change does not happen by you being like, well, I'm stupid and like I'm making the number go lower. Like there's like not as much money in my account as before. Self-discipline is a thing. Self-flagellation and being mean to yourself is not conducive for growth. I'll tell you what is, okay? It is gentle curiosity and empathy towards whatever sort of behavior you want to change. Curiosity, well, gentle meaning you deserve gentleness within the voice you speak to yourself with and everything. Curiosity being, okay, this keeps on coming up in my life. I wonder why. I wonder like what this ties back to. I wonder why this is happening. Because when you understand the root of something, you can talk to yourself. Say it's something that goes back to childhood and being bullied, for example. You can say, hey, I didn't deserve this. These people made me feel insignificant for this, but these people are not people I ever wanted to be friends with or be. They were not nice. They were not kind. They were very superficial. I don't need to be that way. I don't need to do that. And see, look, the empathy for yourself. So, like, the whole point here I'm trying to make is, of course, like, if you have, like, a therapist or something, this can help. But if this is personal and you want to keep it for you, this is something you can work through on your own. But like I said, real change doesn't happen overnight. Okay? It happens with gentle language towards yourself, and it happens with curiosity. Because everything you picked up that you need to heal was formed and born for some reason. Okay? It's nothing to guilt yourself for. It's nothing to shame yourself for. None of that. None of that, okay? Just gentle curiosity and empathy for yourself is how you're going to grow and heal your relationship with money, okay? Because if there is something big you've always wanted to give yourself that you need to save up money for, because I do think there's something you want here with this magician on the bottom of the deck. There's going to be so much less resistance if you can look at this and try and work through it. I will also say some of you may have earth placements here anywhere, but like primarily in like the inner planets, I think are most important, and that would be Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. I love you so very much. But that's what I wanted to share with you, pretty girl. And I want to tell you, you're perfect the way you are. I'm sure you have great taste anyway. It's just, if you can work through this in order to build a life that's more fruitful and works better for you and is more conducive for your growth and happiness and more beneficial, I think you should try to heal this. And I believe you can. I believe in you, Pile 2. You're so gorgeous. Okay? I hope you like my nails, by the way. But after the blind spot, I want to go into your 5th card, which is something small you're doing you maybe overlook, but something that is setting you up for success, whether that be something that's a part of your daily routine or something you do with money or career-wise or for your friends. Something you do in your life that is setting you up to be beneficial for you long-term, whatever this is. Like, for example, for the first group, it was like, they were like planners, like they kept like to-do lists and like, we're like the Microsoft Excel, like, girlies and stuff. I'm curious to see what this is for you. But from the sweet higher selves of Pile 2, what is something they do consistently that comes naturally to them to praise themselves for, that is setting them up for long-term success, that is always going to be beneficial? Page of Cups. Okay. Beautiful. Let me look at some clarifiers. Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 8 of Wands. You might be in your single era and like, yeah, Queen of Wands. Pile 2 divas. I think that you are single and you might be like, well, why is that a good thing? Like, why is that a good thing? Let me look at this prompt for this card again. It's something small you're doing Listen. Okay. Maybe you are somebody who, this could also be just like socializing without socializing. Maybe you are somebody who clubs or dances, but I think maybe for the last little bit you were learning to be more extroverted, and you might be single too. But whatever you're doing, I feel like you're going out or spending time with people more frequently just because you enjoy the aspect of socializing. Just because you enjoy the aspect of like being around other people. This is going to teach you to connect with people. This is teaching you confidence and bravery. I also think it's teaching you a work-life balance and tolerance and open-mindedness. If you do anything for work that is like people-based, you spending more time with others and spending more time observing than dating, or like, I don't know, if you like take yourself out, if you have nights out that are just for you and everything, if you have any sort of public career, anything like that going on, this is going to teach you to network and to connect with other people and to bring people out of their shells. Because pile 2, with the Strength card here and the Queen of Pentacles, I think most of the time you probably prefer your own company. I think there's a side of you people don't really see unless it's strangers or whoever is there when you go into these environments. But I think when you are feeling your most extroverted, you'll just like walk up to people and dance and say hi. Which is really, really cool because it takes bravery to go anywhere on your own, and it takes bravery to walk straight up to people and try to make friends. I also think if you have been single for a while, with the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Lovers, if you have rejected people just because they weren't up to standards you have gathered for yourself over the years, you are attracting something better. This is not a love reading, and also I don't really do timing, so I couldn't really tell you when this is happening. Don't sit on it like crazy, because I do feel like you are in a time that's about you. But like every time you gain more respect for yourself, you are setting yourself up for something even greater and more fulfilling if love is something you want later on in your life. But I do feel like with those Knights and the Lovers, this is teaching you to network and connect. And like find other people. So like, listen, Diva, you just literally having a good time and going out and talking to people and taking yourself out on dinner dates and stuff and walking right up to people, or hearing a conversation with a waiter or waitress you connect with and stuff is so cool. You are learning how to network, and you are turning yourself into a people person because you are brave enough to just throw yourself into these situations just because you feel like being in the room. Like, I also think you're like inserting yourself into like communities you care about, like while you do this. So that's really, really cool. I think you're genuine about it too. Whatever impact, whatever people you seem to meet that like tend to really like you when you go out to places, really like you, like really actually respect you, and I don't think they forget about you. With the Page of Cups here, because he's about charm, he's interesting, he has cool stories, he's usually got a cool outfit on, romantic, sweet. You are memorable to the people you end up spending the night with or meet when you go out, okay? When you really, really put yourself out there, you are memorable. I wouldn't be surprised if you leave with Instagram handles every time and new followers. But you are learning to connect, okay? Your generosity, your friendliness, your kindness, it's infectious. And it makes other people feel comfortable. And you are genuine and yourself. And if it's something you enjoy, you don't even have to remember I said any of this. Just know, like, you just taking time with yourself to do something you enjoy is setting you up to be a people person, to make you more extroverted, to grow your confidence, and you are beginning to take a place in a community because you are brave and you have audacity. You are really, really cool, Pile 2. You are really, really cool. I love you so, so, so much, okay? And then your 6th card is going to be an I love you from your higher self. So something they want to honor, praise, they want to give you, and maybe some direct channeling, if I can get it, from your sweet, sweet, kind higher selves, Pile 2. Praise, encouragement, and some real, real love from your higher selves, Pile 2. Oh, Knight of Pentacles again. Yes, what did I tell you? I definitely think, Pile 2, you are the sensitive souls in the chat. Okay, you are the sensitive people who come to this reading with the King of Cups on the bottom here, because I am being reminded by your higher self that you are making results, okay? And like, if you are ever too hard on yourself about making any sort of change, I want you to remember that your first step is awareness, okay? Your first step is like even like realizing like what's up and what's going on inside of you, okay? That's the first step, and then comes the other stuff. Just try to be mindful, but regardless, I do think your higher self is saying you're maturing with the Knight of Pentacles. Because before kings are knights. They are the last kind of suit you move through before you get there. I also think if you are somebody in your 20s or 30s, this card is telling you you are still becoming. You don't need to have everything figured out yet. Not with how young you are. The knights are usually depicted as like young adults, and like the kings and queens are usually like grown, okay? So you are still in a state of becoming in your life. Becoming, okay? Not end destination. And like, we're never done learning and growing as people, but like, if you are still figuring out the basics of your life, your career, how you are going to make money, how you label yourself, what communities you're part of. You, like, it's okay to not have all those answers yet, as long as you're trying and you're exploring and you're figuring out what you like to spend your time doing, what's going on. You having awareness and learning about yourself is enough, because that's literally what this time is for, Diva. It's literally what this time is for. That's all it is, okay? It's exploration. And maybe you know exactly what you want, and there are certain things you are sure about. But if you still have unanswered gaps, it's okay to be in a state of flux, and it's okay to change your mind and go back and forth. Everything is fine, Pile 2. Everything is fine. I am paying attention to the fact that you got 3 court cards. I do think you are on like a very personal journey. Like I said, you're becoming. So it's really just holding patience for yourself. And the King of Cups is on the bottom of the deck. He very often talks about having emotional empathy for ourselves and others, but so much for ourselves because he is on his throne. He's steady and all the waves are behind him, and he is holding the cup in his scepter. So he's holding logic and like emotional fulfillment all at once. He honors his emotions. He feels through them. He is gentle with himself and figures out, what can I take from this? What signals are my emotions sending me? What's going on here? And how can I honor them? So, like, your higher self is saying, I love you. You're all right. You are in a state of becoming. All you have to do is be aware and then try. And like, that is enough. That will always be enough. Okay? The first step is always awareness. And then trying. When you feel ready and you understand, that is how you execute any sort of plan. You plan a vacation and you look at the sights and everything and find things you want to do before you go, right? Same kind of thing. I do love you so much, though. What a beautiful reading. I am going to be giving you your more lighthearted portion of the reading now, too. Okay, I hope it was all lighthearted and it all felt easy going down. But the charms and the oracles are like where I have the most fun, because tarot can be like really direct. These are fun and less serious, okay? So this is my beautiful little charm casting bowl my best friend made me out of air dry clay for Chrysler. And I know there are like a lot of readers on here. But if you have never gotten a charm casting, basically I keep all these silver or brass like charms in a bowl. And I have like all different ones. There are butterflies and stars and masquerade masks and everything. But basically, I reach in there, mix around, pull out some. Sometimes they land attached to each other, like on top of each other. It's really, really cool, or like upside down on their sides, whatever. But I tend to like pull a few, and it gives us an extra message to go with your reading. And it's like a tiny little ASMR moment for you because of all the metal. Slow down, diva, okay? I always feel like I'm like plucking names for the Hunger Games for this. One more. Diva, I want to praise you for any creative ideas you've been running with lately. They are going to take you far and bring you success. And if you were wondering if you're underqualified or anything, you're not. Okay, having an experience within something that you want to share with people, having an experience that you want to share, and having an inspired idea is enough to run with any sort of thing you want to bring into the world and make. With Alice overturned here, the light bulb and the butterfly. As for the racket and the mirror, This one makes me think of Beauty and the Beast. Comparison is not going to help you right now, okay? Comparison or like rushing yourself into anything new is not going to help you right now, but self-compassion will. And like staying in your own lane will. Just because I feel like with this lightning bolt here, not lightning bolt, light bulb and the strength card being about where you're at right now, if you feel like being a little bit more private right now because you feel like it's where you're like overflowing with all your creative ideas, you don't want to share them with like people you compare yourself to anyway. You don't want to tip them off about what you are planning or doing. You want it to be your own without anybody like trying to take a slice of your pie. Like, it's okay right now if the time you spend is with the people you love most who have nothing to do with your goals, who have nothing to do and have no voice on the topic, okay? I feel like right now is a time to spend with community. You may even feel like doing that with like this like creative project you have going on and like this money work you're doing. I think pretty soon you're going to realize you crave experience with people you love more than things. When you work through this, you are in a really beautiful time of like being inspired and moving in silence, I think, on the things that matter most to you right now. But you're not a hermit by any means. I just think anything you really, really care about right now, you are keeping your cards close to your chest. And that's how it's allowed to be, unless you want to share it with somebody who is like your closest confidant, okay? That's how it can be. I really feel like more than ever, and like you are like your whole like 20s and 30s, but I really feel like right now you really are becoming, and like that energy is really loud. You are in an energy of becoming, okay? But yes, your ideas, your creative ideas that are pioneering and all yours and very cool, keep them close to your chest until they're done. Okay? And then you can share it with people. But right now, I don't want you to be comparing yourself. I want you to stay in your own lane and focus on your loved ones and making the most of your day today with chasing cars. I love you so, so, so very much. We're not finished yet. I do want to pull you some oracle cards. I do have my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fairy oracle cards. So I'm going to give these a good shuffle and pull them for you. This one, travel, movement, exploration. So yeah, a time to slow down and just focus on anything creatively you feel like doing. Some of you may also feel like leaning more into being a girly girl lately. I'm so, so drawn to these flowers. But also, I think a little bit of a glow up is happening with you too. This also just talks about feeling yourself and making time for yourself. If you don't have a partner, loving your own body, all those things. But working on your self-image, what makes you feel good. Not everything needs overthinking. Somebody needed clarification on that. Forward movement is really just, what needs to change? without me overthinking it. And how do I get there? And integrating it and moving on. Bringing it into your life and moving on. I feel like right now is going to be a slower time period for you. Cool that the full moon's on there, because we have one like just days from now as of this. It is the week of March 1st of 2026. I also think your pets are going to be very supportive and loving of you right now if you have any. If somebody wants confirmation they should get a new pet or take one in, yes. Oh, okay, I like these. But like finding inner peace and slowing down seems like it's going to be where you're at right now. I also have these beautiful self-care cards, and I kind of treat them like homework because they are very, very practical. They have things like take a walk, rest, make a vision board, have a sweet treat. I want to post some of these for you. What's cool is sometimes when I pull these for my in-person friends, they pull one that is something they had been meaning to do for themselves recently. So just slow down. These are going to be fun and sweet, and I'm just going to pull you like 2 of these, okay? Think of these as homework, okay? It's good for you, whatever it is. Can't really go wrong with these. They've never led me wrong. This one, sing. Maybe this is a banger for you, but if not, that one is pretty straightforward, and I'm not sure of it. I would have to look it up, but I do think like really belting a song, really singing, not singing like this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, like that's not gonna lift your mood, but like singing to like your favorite song like at like the top of your lungs in the shower, I'm assuming would actually make some happy chemicals in your brain if you're needing some of that. Sounds fun to me. I myself am a shower singer. Can confirm it's really fun and it's great. Let me see. One more for my beautiful pile 2 divas. Okay. Look to the stars. So like this one tends to be kind of vague for me. Oh, by the way. Yeah. We also have look to the stars, and if you have any like fun like I know like a couple days from now there's like a blood moon, but also if you're an astrology girly and you feel like it, you could also look into like whatever transits you've got going on. If you're feeling a little wonky, I know as of like where I'm at, we are in a Mercury retrograde, a lot's happening. But if you really want something practical and something fun, I do love this Sing card. I love you so very much, Pile 2. You are so cool. I really hope this reading resonated and you feel more connected to yourself. Remember that this is my little psychic pink corner of the internet. I will always do like Barbie core self-care based readings. I love you so very much. You can subscribe to me if you want to stay around for that, because I am not going anywhere. I love you so very much, pile 2. If, yes, but I love you, and I hope this felt good. I hope you know that this is a safe place to land. I adore you. Thank you for being here. I love you. Go sing. I love you. Take things slow. Be kind to yourself. And thank you again for carving out some time for yourself. I love you. Pile 2. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi there, pile 3. If you picked out this beautiful rose aura quartz heart and my little Spanish pink tarot deck, you are in the right place. Don't worry, little mama, okay? But welcome, okay? So let me sit on down. I am so happy you're here. I'm also so grateful you have taken some time out for yourself. I know the world can feel so fast-paced and like quick and speedy, and I'm really glad that like you are taking some time out for you. I hope you have a little drinky drink and you're comfortable, even if it's like your lunch break or something. I hope you are in a space you're happy in and you feel good. I love you so very much, pile 3 divas, okay? But of course, this first, this reading is going to be on your higher self wants you to know that. And real quick, your higher self is not above you, okay? Your higher self is the version of you that always feels centered, always feels grounded. And it's just kind of your intuition, what you fall back on, your values, what you believe in, and who you are when you're acting from all of them, okay? Not better than you, just part of you. So, your first card with me is always going to be an overall energy check, just so my overthinkers don't like try to make a problem where like one doesn't exist, okay? So, this is not necessarily going to have to do with your reading. It's just going to let me know if this is the right space for you. If this first card and like the energy I described sounds like something you are moving through and where you're at in your life, this reading is probably for you. But that's why we start with it, so we know what's going on. Okay, Diva? So, like I said, settle in, take some time for you, and let's get into things, okay? I'm going to give your deck a good shuffle. These are very small and cute. But my overall energy check for my pile 3 divas who are so gorgeous inside and out. Oh, I guess it's that one. The 8 of Wands. So movement forward here, restless energy. Let me just put out some clarifiers for the time being. 8 of Swords, the Fool. You want something that is not part of your reality yet. Something that's been taken away. That you feel like you need, that you thought you were going to have. Okay? And you're kind of like slamming a door with the 10 of Swords on the bottom here. Something you had put a lot of investment into didn't pan out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do think I resonate with this emotion. I resonate with this energy. I felt it before. It's what disappointment feels like. It's when love lets us down, whether that love is a friend or whether whether it's being laid off by a job we loved for a really long time. Disappointment is when love lets us down, is something I read once that I loved and really resonated with. Kind of feels like where you're at, sun and the moon. And I think you still have to talk or communicate with people that like you're now separated from and at like an awkward distance with. And like, I feel like it's just a couple things to tie up before you get into a balance, and it's not always going to feel this raw. But right now I feel like you have a lot to say and you feel like you can't do any of it. You're feeling very pent up. I want to honor that and tell you it's okay to feel that. Because I want to tell you, if you are guilting yourself in any sort of way, if you have a tendency to like unpack your emotions instead of just letting them be visitors, and you need to be like, this is bad, like I shouldn't feel this way, I shouldn't do this. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. I want to remind you that like emotions aren't something you have to act off of. Emotions, let me level with you here. Emotions aren't something you have to act off of. Emotions aren't something you have to perform out of. Nothing. Emotions are signals, okay? Because they come from stimuli. They come when somebody disrespects us. They come when we lose a family member. They come when we have a fight with a sibling. They come when we get fired from a job. When we experience intense stimuli, we feel our feelings. Maybe for somebody, they're just having trouble controlling them. If somebody is having, if this is specific, but if any of you have any sort of, mental health disorder that make emotional regulation hard, I want to tell you, there is nothing wrong as long as you are being protected and supervised. With asking for changes to your treatment during a hard time or anything, there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of like extra help and like having like a boost to help you move through like a turbulent time in your life. There's nothing wrong with it. Not if it ensures your safety and it gives you peace of mind and it makes you feel good. No shame here, none of that. But I just think you are going through like a very maybe sudden change you didn't expect to happen. And maybe like you were feeling whispers of this before. But it's one thing to know something's coming. It still doesn't prepare you for like when something lands. And I want to tell you that emotions are visitors. Okay? And sometimes they're a lot bigger for certain people than other people. But emotions are visitors, and it's okay for what's happened to hurt or annoy you or make you feel resentful. For example, resentment and anger usually come up when we are being treated unfairly in some way. So if you are experiencing resentment or anger and you've had the rug ripped out from under you in some way, if you lived with a partner for 8 years and then they turned to you and told you they wanted to break up, reason to be angry. If they're like, hey, I'm paying for the place, like you have to leave. That's okay to be angry, to live somewhere for 8 years and have to like reevaluate your life and move everything around. Having a job lined up and somebody chiming in crying. Or having nepotism and like them getting the job instead, even if you were more qualified. Reason to be angry. Somebody stepped on your toes. That doesn't mean you let it swallow you up and live through it. You analyze it and comfort yourself and cope with it however you can. But I want to, the emotion, the concept I'm trying to relay is that emotion is not an enemy. It's not there to throw you off or make you feel bad or stress you out. It's there as a signal to tell you when something's not right. And sometimes they are inconveniencing if we are somebody who prefers to live in logic, or like if emotions like throw like our nervous systems off balance, but they are there for a reason. So if you are somebody who is saying, I feel really, really poorly that like I'm having this come up, I like it shouldn't be there. I hope you can sit in the discomfort and know that you're gonna be okay, that I love you so much, and like it's okay for your feelings to be big. It's about how you regulate them and how you ride them out. But they are signals, and they're there to teach you something and tell you something so that you can advocate for yourself and nurture yourself, okay? That's the whole reason they're there. They're not there to throw you off balance or hurt you or anything. They're there because your needs need to be met, okay? I love you so, so, so very much. They need to be met and acknowledged by you, okay? And I promise it's like when you need to like projectile, like, okay, it's better out than in. Because otherwise you bottle them up and they sit there forever. And you're like, 10 years down the line, you're like, well, why do I have this issue? It's better to learn to process them and honor them and be like, yeah, I didn't deserve that. But you know what? I'm going to make it work. And it's not going to feel this raw forever. And I will stick this out and tie up all the loose ends, and then I'm going to figure out what's next for me. So, yeah, that's how it can be. That's what you can say to yourself after you, like, let all those feelings wash over to you. But if any of that resonated, makes sense, sounds like where you're at, something you can relate to, this reading is most likely for you. And with that, we are going to move into the fun parts, okay? The reading. Your higher self wants you to know, okay? I do have channeled songs. So, I do something called shufflemancy, okay? Which is basically just, I put like songs I love into a Spotify playlist. I ask a question like I would with a tarot reading and shuffle a song. I wrote them all down. So like a message for pile 1 from their higher self, a message for pile 2 from their higher self, a message for pile 3 divas from their pile self. And You Got Me by Taylor Swift, okay? So, like, kind of like a joke song. So maybe about, like, needing to, laugh a little bit and, like, exist on the lighter side of life. Even if it is for, like, half an hour. And like, you watch a comedian you love or something. But Me is one of her only self-love songs, like, in her whole discography. Unless you count, like, Bejeweled or something. It's one of her only self-love songs in her whole entire discography. And it's also just about, like, knowing what makes you you, the good and the bad, and being like, okay, well, like, this is what you get with me. This is what you get with me. I know I do all these things, but I am a multifaceted person with, like, gray area. It's also, like, poppy and, like, really, really fun. If you don't listen to it too seriously, this is, like, princess bubblegum pop, okay? She got bullied for saying, hey kids, spelling is fun with Brandon Urie. And she was bullied so heavily they took it out. So it's just about, like, whimsy and fun, really, but it's also one of her only self-love songs. that's all about self-image and like good and bad, like making up a person, and all that stuff. So just like I don't know, it might be resonant for you somehow. It might be resonant for you somehow. Also just like with like expansiveness, and like if I think about like what era, like what like album of hers it's from, Lover, it's about optimism and like the darker and like the lighter sides of like love and life and connection with people, and like exploring like her own depths. It's the first time she really like wrote music with like political undertones and everything, and like told people about like where she was at, because for years people called her like an Aryan princess and everything. She was like, no, none of that, because she started dating like a woke actor. And I was like, okay, like cook queen, like the world like needs to hear this stuff. It's like 2019. But like it was just all about like self-expression, that album, and like I don't know, like sharing more of herself again after like all of like the Kanye stuff. So me is kind of just needing to take a lighter approach about things and have more enthusiasm and like trust in yourself, I think, is like why that's here. Turning the focus back onto you and who you are and your inner strength, instead of just like what like your outer circumstances are if they're shitty right now, you know. That is what I'm kind of feeling for that one. It's also just a fun, silly, goofy one to listen to. Okay? But that was what I got for you. And your third card is going to be something creative to follow. And what that means is basically creativity is one of the healthiest things you can make time for in your life, okay? It's good for your brain. It's good for your self-expression. If you love anything creative, whether that be dancing or like synchronized swimming or junk journaling, scrapbooking, painting, whatever it is, even if it's something you do like very much occasionally, I do think that one of the easiest, like, I can say I'm almost 27. I don't know much about anything for sure. I do know one thing. Creativity is incredibly grounding for like anybody, anyone, okay? And I don't think we consider our mental health enough. And sometimes self-care is boring. People are like, meditate, mindfulness, da, 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 da. You can have so much of it if you just like make time to do something creative with yourself. Even if it's like flow movement and you're like dancing and stuff. But I channel these questions. I sit down like after I like write like the prompt I want to read off of and everything, like the question. And I just felt like writing this one, something creative to follow. So either like an inspired idea you've had for a while, even if it's like a night like you want to go and have with your friends at like one of those like guided like painting places, whatever it is. But something creative here that like your higher self wants you to follow up on, even if it's like an inspired idea. I want to see what's going on here for you. Pile of 3 divas. These are small. I hope you like my nails. I got them done today as I film this. Five of Pentacles for creativity. Okay, if anybody is moving into a new place, I am getting, like, even like if creativity does not come to you naturally, picking out colors for your place if you think you may be able to paint it instead of just like gray and white walls. Okay, so you for sure are either people who like say like they can't create and like they don't have like a creative bone in their bodies, or you are people, I really feel like it's just people undercutting their success, or like I don't have time, or like I don't have like a space for it. Six of Swords. If there is a lack of creativity among most of you in this group, I do want to remind you, you don't have to be great at anything the first time you do it, and you don't even have to be great at something if you've been doing it for 2 years. If you like it, you don't have to be good at anything to enjoy it. You don't have to be good at anything. And some people, it's just, someone is just saying, like, this is just, like, not in my nature. This is not what I do. It can be. And it can be a guided painting class. It can be making bag charms for your tote bag. It can be doing whatever. The dollar store makes like hardware for like jewelry making and everything. The dollar store has, or like Goodwill has like craft supplies and like beads for you to buy and everything. And like if creativity is like really something like you don't want in your life at all, or like you just like don't have inspiration for it, that's what Pinterest is for and everything. If you really get your kicks somewhere else doing something different, and like don't resonate with this point blank period, that's fine. But for anybody that just uses the excuse like, I don't do that because I'm not good at it, you don't have to be good at anything. And like, if you just do a dive on TikTok, there are so many things that people do for like Galentine's nights. I saw so many last month just for like crafts to do with your friends that like aren't like very like aren't very talented like with like artistic stuff at all. There's something for everybody. And it's so good for you. It forces you to slow down, crafting something by hand. It forces you to slow down. And like, you have more of a fear response if you're not including anything in your life to slow down except sleep. And if you're not doing that, you need to, because we live in such a fast-paced, high-demanding world. You need some sort of hobby or skill or something you do sort of regularly that calms down your nervous system, because we live under capitalism. It's scarier to live in the world than it's like ever been ever. And like, you need to start making time and space for you, which is why I'm so happy you found me. All of my readings are self-love geared. That's what this is about, okay? So if there's anything you can do, if you own a single coloring book, friend, if you want a coloring app on your phone, anything, just find something that like soothes your brain, soothes your mind, lets you hold space for you, slows down your breathing and slows down your heart rate, okay? Because everybody needs something. And self-expression. I hope you have room for it somewhere in your life, but if you don't, you are not just I feel like I'm in the Barbie movie talking to Ken. You are not just your job. You're not just beach. You're not even your mink. You need to, I want you to get to a place where you're like, yeah, this is what I like to wear. Yeah, I want to get this haircut because I like it. Yeah, I feel like making this today. Self-exploration and self-expression is a journey, but it's vital, okay? I love you so, so, so very much. I also want to pull one card for you on one tiny blind spot or something your higher self is trying to remind you to do intuitively. So nothing to be afraid over or anything. Just something in your life you might be ignoring or avoiding that could be worked on for your benefit. A little blind spot. For your greatest and highest good and with so, so much love. Ooh. The Hermit. Let me see, one clarifier. Okay. I also think you might be people who bottle up your emotions because you feel like they hold you back from making progress. You feel like they hold you back from moving forward in your life or making choices. And I kind of saw this with the Eight of Wands too, but with the Hermit, I think like just in the gentlest way it comes across is, I don't know, I feel like you've always followed things you think you should have in your life, but I feel like with you bottling up your emotions, sometimes you get things in your life or you manifest things into your life that like you thought you wanted, and then like once you got them, you were like, oh, this is terrible. I really don't like this. This is terrible. I don't want this. I changed my mind. I thought I did. I didn't. And Diva, can I tell you, it's because you bottle up your emotions. Sometimes. It's because you bottle them up and you ignore them. I think sometimes. Your emotions are signals. Okay? They're there to tell you something. So, like, if you ever got the ick, but you were like, okay, but, like, this man, like, he has money, and, like, he wants a kid like I do and all these things, and, like, like, he's weird, and, like, I can't believe he has that going on, but, like, he's here, and, like, I've been with him a while, and all that stuff. And, like, rationalizing decisions instead of, like, really, really wanting the thing means sometimes you are not in touch with your real wants. And you deserve to be. You deserve to be, okay? Because, like, to live a fulfilling life is to be in touch with what you want. Okay? So, like, when you get it, like, you still want the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still cool when you get it because it's something you've always wanted. So with the Hermit here, it's not a lack of self-awareness, absolutely not. But it is bottling up your emotions and sometimes even servicing other people's feelings instead of your own, because you're like, well, I'm not looking at mine, but you're here. And you are part of the picture I am making for my life, so I'll listen to you. That is not how it's supposed to be. If you feel unfulfilled and you are only focusing on other people's emotions and writing off all of yours, that's why. Okay? So something here to pay attention to is just following the beat of your own drum. But to do that, you have to check in with how you feel and really be like, okay, I'm having kids and, like, getting married because, like, my parents did this, and, like, that's what they expect of me, like at like the job I have and everything. Like that's what everybody has. All these people I really, really look up to, like all have this thing. But do you want it? Like, do you actually want it? Like, look it up. Like, look up videos of like new mothers and stuff. Like, do you actually want it? But that is something to look at as things come up. I don't want you to feel like that is something you can control now and like you have to turn everything over and fix everything. That is something you work through as it comes up. Okay? When you have options for something, you can say, okay, what am I looking for here? Based off of who I am and what makes me feel supported, what do I want in a partner? What makes me feel supported? How do I want to decorate my apartment? How do I want to feel when I come in? It's really just slowing down and like prioritizing yourself more and being like, how would this make me feel? And I promise it's not a waste of time. Because if you always end up miserable because you don't listen to yourself, it's not a waste of time. It just means something you're doing isn't working for you and something needs to change. Something needs to change in the way you interact with yourself, or something needs to change in the way you talk to yourself. But like, I do think you're on the precipice of change here. I think it's getting a little bit overwhelming with the Eight of Wands. I do think you're in a part of change. Me is also about owning your wants and what you like in a person. I told you that's kind of what the Lover era is about too. I could go on and on and on and on and on about that, but pile 3, when you feel ready, I hope like whatever state of change you're in, when you feel ready, you can start building a relationship with yourself. And that starts as simply as like, I don't know why I thought of like, you were allowed to have preferences. You were allowed to go to Bath and Body Works and like sniff like 50 soaps and see what you really, really like. But start focusing on letting yourself make even teeny tiny decisions. You know, if you decide you want to make a bag charm, focus on making really, really teeny tiny decisions about, okay, what colors do I want to put on this? What am I going to use? What color are my other things? And things like that. What colors make me happy to look at? More consideration for yourself, okay? But like, that's how it starts. Just more consideration for yourself and your own thoughts and feelings instead of just being focused on progress. Because how can you be sure it's progress you even want if you've never thought about it? You know? That's what keeps on putting you back there. You don't think about what you want, you just go. And it's a time to slow down and actually look within this time. Okay? Because like you have your own wants and needs, but it's time to look at them. I love you. You deserve a life that's fulfilling for you. It's time to pay attention. The 5th card is going to be something small you have consistently done or always do that you maybe overlook and don't realize is actually setting you up for success, whether that be a little habit you have or a belief you have that you live by. But something small you've always had that I don't know, is building up a greater reward for you. For the first pile, it was, they were like planners and make like to-do lists. For the second pile, it was kind of, they were getting more comfortable like going out on their own and it's teaching them to network. I'm excited to see what it is for you. Okay, 9 of Cups. So parenthood is coming up for some people. I don't know what ages you are, but I think some of you, like, either are parents or never had children, and things like that, and that is something you wanted. Either way, you chose it. Or even just, like, if you speak about it, if you're like, oh, I never want kids, or like, oh, like, the world is terrible, but, like, I still want them. I think that is one part of you that understands what sort of fulfillment you want and don't want. Because I think as far as commitments, you don't really move into, like, a lifelong commitment unless you're sure and you've let it cook and you know what it is you want. But I think for a lot of you with the 9 of Cups here and, like, the self-prioritizing and, like, the introspection you've done on it, I think a lot of you are childless or want to be childless. And this is really, really specific. So it may not resonate with everybody, but I think it's going to be kind of a blanket statement for pile 3. That is really, really cool. You know exactly what you want, because, like, I think you understand what you want in your future and that it's not them. And, like, I won't pretend to understand your reason for not wanting kids. I know for some people it's just because it's pure stimuli all the time that they take all of your money, like, all that stuff. Some people, like, didn't have great, like, parenting systems and just, like, don't even want a chance, like, to screw it up, and, like, saw, like, what it did to them, and they just don't want jack to do with it. But for whatever reason it is, I think whatever you sit on as far as, like, your opinion goes with it is right and is going to be the choice you stick with and is right for you. With the 9 of Cups here, because I think it's a decision you make with love and consideration, and it's just something you've never wanted. But, like, you talking about it, even, like, if you are still in a time where, like, you could if you wanted, you don't feel the need to. I think you are pretty hell-bent. And because of that, it's going to generate the success for you want in your life later on, the wealth you want in your life for you later on. Maybe you have kids of friends you love so much, and it's just something you've never wanted for yourself. I think you can leave a legacy without crotch goblins. And I think that's the type you'd like to leave. I think you are very, very strong in your own personal beliefs. And I think you're open to change, because otherwise you wouldn't have clicked on a tarot reading or anything. But I think certain parts of you, especially here when it comes to your future and what sort of mark you want to leave, are very strong. I think you have a lot of courage of conviction. And it is going to bring you success, longevity, and, like, stability in your life, just because you know what you want and what you don't want. I definitely think of legacy with the animal on here being a moth, because they tend to have, like, short lives, so it makes me think of legacy. He's slowing down here for the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is usually, like, a solitary card. You know what you want your legacy to be, but you still leave yourself room to grow and change as a person, but you know what you want your legacy to be. That's really, really cool. And you're still growing it. You don't have to be there right now. Don't let a setback, like, throw you off and be like, I'm doing everything wrong. But You're doing great. Okay? I'm just looking at all these vines. You're going to grow and you are going to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. As long as you are in touch with yourself and you work on that. I do think change is coming for you with the snake down here. Wisdom and change. Yes. Where is... Your 6th card is going to be an I love you from your higher self. So some real honest love from that calmer, aware part of yourself. And like some direct channeling, if I can get it too. Oh. Your higher self is asking you to have some positivity. Or if not positivity, then optimism. Things can get better for me and I can still have what it is I want. I think you have a tendency to fall into negative thinking when things don't go your way because you rely more on like external things for happiness and stability than like your own relationship with yourself. They're asking you to have more positivity and inner strength here with the Cancer symbol on the Chariot card. You might be a Capricorn if this is like the oppositional energy you kind of need to move into. Capricorn placements might be significant. Or Virgo, I do have the Hermit here. There is something here. Like if you want change, you have to make change. I just heard that like TikTok sound that is like, break the cycle today or it will repeat again tomorrow. Break the cycle today or it will repeat again tomorrow. Like on loop. I've seen people use it for like Hunger Games edits, but like that's for you. Break the cycle today or it will repeat itself tomorrow. Break the cycle today or it will repeat itself tomorrow. There needs to be optimism here because like the definition of like optimism and like slowing down and like introspection, even if you're like when you feel ready, because even if you're scared of what you might find, a change in your life is better than like doing the same thing again and again and always getting the same result. That's the definition of insanity too. If you keep on running into walls, at some point you have to be like, okay, what is staying the same and what can I change? Because my head hurts from running into all these walls. But there has to be a change for any sort of movement forward. I will say the 5 of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the 9 of Cups are very like stationary cards. Like all these people are like in like the original tarot card, they're always on the struggle bus. Like they're always by themselves and cold, and the 5 of Pentacles is always pretty like dark as far as colors go and everything, and the Chariot is bright. and there's stars all over it, and it's about movement forward. So it's make the change today, or the cycle will repeat itself tomorrow, like that sort of thing. And what the change needs to be, I think, is just optimism and trying to do things a different way and moving through blocks. And the Chariot also reminds us to have courage, so going inward, and looking at what you really, really want and actually really processing. Because I feel like sometimes you let your emotions happen to you more than you look at them and go within. That needs to change for you to move forward. Me, like finding your individuality, what matters to you. And not just like moving through the world anymore, but living. Like living. You deserve that. The Chariot is about movement and like vibrancy and living. If any of you are Cancers astrologically, that could be significant here, a sign. But with that, yeah, I just don't want you to stay in this cycle. It's like self-defeating. And the Chariot is empowering and about courage, and he is telling you you can do it. So, yes. Nine of Cups tells me, like, you definitely have inner strength. You have the capabilities for this. The discs in your spine aren't going to break if you go within for once and like look at your feelings. Oops. But I am going to be reading on your charms. And basically, I know that there are a lot of tarot readers online. But basically what charm reading is I keep all of these silver and brass charms in a bowl, and they're all different things. Okay, there's like a mushroom in here, there's a compass, it's like a yes charm, a no charm. But they're like all like little images, and I pull them, I assign meanings to them myself, what they mean to me. I love symbolism. English and like creative writing was my favorite thing growing up in school. Sometimes they land on top of each other or like interlinked. Sometimes I accidentally drop them onto a card, moving them over and in. But I kind of just see what I get, and like based off of like how I put two and two together, I get like an extra message for us, you know? Hope you like my nails, by the way, they're fresh. But I am going to get you some and toss them in the bowl for you, okay? Let's see what we get. Little ASMR moment. Oh, look at that. So if you have had a ringing question in your mind for psychics or just within yourself, or like if you need confirmation not to go back on a decision or something, whatever question has been racking your brain, the answer is a no. Okay? I do think your self-awareness is growing, and maybe that's why you came to me. We also have the hummingbird. I always think of that as like speed and resilience. You are working through a matter of the heart, okay? And freedom here, I also think hummingbirds have like a lot of strength. Whatever you are going through when it comes to like maybe like a dispute between you and somebody else or a fight, if you are scared you're going to get the short end of the stick in anything, you are not. You'll get what you deserve, and there will be enough care towards put towards you. You get what you need. And then this moon, this kitty sitting on the moon for me very often, it makes me think of Sailor Moon. It makes me think of Luna. So it might be time for nostalgia, but I also think leaning into any sort of thing you do that comforts yourself, that is healthy and safe. Balancing skills. And like some of these like might have like personal meaning to you, but we have the no charm in here. We have the kitty sitting on the moon, the hummingbird, and the balancing skills charms, which sometimes make me think of Libra, but like being a Libra is not like a prerequisite for this reading. I just bring it up when I see it because that's the symbol for the sign. If any of these mean anything to you, of course it has your own significance. I also think of a divorce with the hummingbird meaning like independence and like the balancing skills. You definitely need to be supporting yourself and thinking of like what's next for you and what makes you happy, if that situation resonates here. Doesn't mean you're back to square one. It just means a chapter is ending for you. But there is like change here, I think, for everybody. I am going to show you your oracle cards. So these are my cute little like fairy ones. They're very girly and sweet. The art is very kind. So I'm going to shuffle out 2 of these for you. Move this. I love this dish, by the way. My best friend made it for me out of air dry clay for Chrysler. Okay. The fairy dragon has blessed you with good fortune. So that literally means good luck is coming your way. Your needs will be met. You are going to be all right. That is like the good omen of like this oracle deck. Positive things are coming for you no matter what. I think even better if you choose to grow. You deserve positive things no matter what. Okay. Have gratitude for the gifts you have. Sometimes that means just that somebody needs to be careful of like emotional spending. Also, money will not bring back people. But it is a resource you can use for you. You're being guided to what's meant for you is on the bottom. A loss does not mean you are worth anything less. It does not mean you did anything wrong. It just means something is over Oh, 1111 is on here if that's significant for anybody. The moon card is also on here. So you're in a time of change. I don't want you to get stuck thinking and this is how it's going to be forever. It's not it. You have to believe things can get better for you, okay? And they can. I really want you to cultivate a relationship with yourself. I think it might help you find your power. But that takes courage too, I know. So if you have to work it up to get there, you can do that. But I do hope you can honor yourself and find yourself gorgeous and amazing and capable and like so valued the same way I do. I love you. And these are moonflowers, I think. So things are changing for you. A fun fact, moonflowers are called moonflowers because they only bloom at night. I think this can be a really cool time of change and like self-discovery for you if you want. And then good things coming. The thing I like to do last, because they are surface level and sweet, are my little like practical self-care cards. They have like soak in a bath, connect with the earth, drink tea, spend time with friends, all that stuff. But when you're ready, these are fun. They're almost like homework. They're so like grounded and like practical and stuff. I give these to my friends sometimes, and sometimes they even pull ones where they're like, wait, I like thought about doing that yesterday and I did it. They're like practical and sweet and very nice. And I'm going to pull like 2 for you, okay? Rest. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. Just like, especially I think like if you're going through like huge amounts of anxiety, if you feel like buzzy, or if you are, listen, I love you so much. If you find yourself like having, and this might be specific, but if you are somebody who finds yourself just like bursting into tears lately when you're stressed, take some naps. If you are going through something that's really upsetting and hard on your nervous system, it's totally fair. Take some naps so you can calm down your nervous system. Or like take a hot bath or hot shower so you can calm down your nervous system. Anything restful that makes you feel brand new after you give it to your body, okay? So like rest or a nap is really, really great for that. All that stuff. Sometimes your body just loses energy more quickly and needs more rest in times of stress like that, okay? So just honor it, and like give it what it needs so it can function, and be good to yourself. That was specific. Some of you really just need to rest. Okay. I swear I heard somebody laugh later on after I put this up. I heard somebody laugh just now at the rest card. Do it. It's good for you. Okay. Oh! Spicy time. Spicy time. Spicy time. But I'm going to put it there just like that. And then I'll get you another one, spicy time. I'll put it there just like that, and I will get you another one. 2. I definitely think if anybody needs a little bit of extra love, it's my pile 3 divas. So, but you saw that too, right? I covered that up so fast. Clean your space. And it could be like one like hyper specific area of your living space too, or your cubicle, whatever, or like unfortunately, like if this is a divorce or a separation or something, like if it's like packing boxes, I am channeling for somebody. Oh, look, drink teas on the bottom. If that is a specific situation for someone, I would just say, like boxes can be something you do slow over time, and storage can be something you do slow over time if you do a little bit, just like every day or every other day. But this might literally be telling you, like, clean your living space if it's just you or anything, whatever resonates. But pile 2, I love you. Pile 2. This is a safe space to land. This is my Barbie core psychic corner of the internet. I hope you feel loved by me, because you are. I adore you so, so, so very much. And I hope that you can find the courage to find what it is you want and be good to yourself and care for yourself. I adore you, pile 3. I think you are so ballsy, so cool, such a diva. Your channeled song was Me by Taylor Swift. You are so, so cool. You have inner strength that knows no bounds. I hope you can go inward. And I hope you can carve out some time for yourself to rest. And spicy time, if you feel like it. I adore you. My name is Courtney. Subscribe to me if you want to see more of me. I love you. Thank you for being here. I love you, pile 3. I love you. I'll see you again next time, okay? I love you.